Imagine you're driving by Piedmont Park on your way to dinner and just so happen to glance over into the park to see the green grass and trees swaying in the breeze. A runner catches your eye for a brief second because of their fast pace, but observing the runner from a distance, they seem quite harmless as they're gliding along the running trail. Your eyes return to the road and your thoughts continue to the delicious food that's in store for you shortly, leaving the runner long gone and long forgotten. There's much more to that runner and their lifestyle than the car driver can begin to think of. That runner left behind has only one goal in mind: to put one foot in front of the other faster than the others. In order to achieve this goal, the runner must willfully force themselves into the most difficult mental, physical, and spiritual mission of their lives, push their limits to the brink of their existence. I look no further than the novel Once a Runner to showcase a prime example of a runner undergoing this strenuous lifestyle. The author, John L. Parker Jr., understands this demanding lifestyle. He's a three-time SEC Mile champion and USTF Steeplechase National champion. In Once a Runner, a novel chronicling the journey of the main character giving up everything he has to chase his ambitions in running, Parker uses the brilliant analogy of religious symbolism to describe the severity of the running culture. A runner must sacrifice to the calendar gods on the altar of consistency and give up a portion of their life every day to the task of running. Leaving a day without a run makes the runner feel as though they're playing a dangerous game and losing time to the other competitors. To a hardcore runner, every decision and every day revolves around being faster than the previous day, even if only by a fraction of a second. This was me. I was a hardcore runner, immersed in the running lifestyle during my 4 years of cross country and track in high school, and this is me surviving and living to tell the tale. There was nothing extraordinary with my beginnings as a runner. When I was in third grade, my dad took me out to the local 5K race on a free weekend for the fun of it. That 5K proved to be far more influential than either of us could have imagined. Not only did I complete the race without stopping, but I also finished strong. Here, the beginning of a running career that would span nearly a decade was born. As the years went by, I began to catch running fever, fueled by my stellar performances. In elementary school track, I ran multiple events and finished second in the 400 meters with a time of 1:11 as a fifth grader. In middle school track, I proved to be one of the best young distance talents in my class, finishing second in the county again in the mile with a speedy time of 5:10 as an eighth grader. When I entered high school, I unexpectedly made the varsity team, which only has 7 spots for boys on a roster of about 30 guys. At this point, I was too far gone in the running fever to come back. I was a rising star in my mind, capable of breaking records. As Dr. Santos Martinez notes in an article from the academic journal Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation Clinics of North America, the numerous benefits from running need to be tempered by the potential for abuse and by observing signs of overtraining, which can take the individual down a deleterious avenue, which was not always perceived or accepted by one whose identity and balance are inherent and maintained through running. This deleterious avenue was one I had headed down, and one I would remain in for a long while. It's common today for a runner to catch the running fever, wanting to train and live the running lifestyle, the running culture. I got a chance to speak to one of them recently, an upcoming 8th grader distance runner, Aiden, at a middle school track meet. Aiden has similar times to mine back when I was in 8th grade. His enthusiasm about running reminds me of myself when I had caught the running fever in 8th grade. Fresh off his 5:19 mile, the young runner exuded enthusiasm and energy as he talked with me, a running legend of sorts in his mind, wanting to pick my brain for tips on how to get faster. He has begun to fully embrace the running culture and likely head down the same deleterious avenue that I once did. Coming off an impressive freshman campaign, I look to make an impact my sophomore year of high school with my team loaded with seniors and experience, poised to make a run at regionals and state. Throughout the season, I worked my way up to be the top runner on the team, clocking a time of 16:35 for the 5K at regionals, good for third fastest all time at my high school. The team shared my great success with a nail-biting victory at regionals, placing 8th in the whole state for our classification. The better I did, the more invested I was in the running culture. As mentioned in Once a Runner, I sacrificed daily on the altar of consistency so that no days were unintentionally left without a run. My training logs were filled out with attention and care, beginning to resemble world record holder marathoner Eliud Kipchoge's prestigious training logs. The day of reckoning had fallen upon me during the first day of state track championships. The weather conditions were miserable for an early May day. Inches of rain fell all day, flooding the first and part of the second lane of the track during the race. So my first experience of track state championships was running 4 laps in ankle-deep water with a thorough drenching rain. After the race, I stood gasping for air, and not more rain, and looked up into the stadium lights, which were obscured because of the deluge of rain, and asked myself, is this really what I've been working towards all these years? Then I began to reconsider my goals. As Dr. Terry Orlick, who is a decorated scholar in the fields of sport psychology and mental training, accurately portrays in his book, In the Pursuit of Excellence, what are you hoping your pursuit of personal excellence will give you in the short run and in the long run? It was then and there, on that dreary day of reckoning at track state championships, that I realized there's more to running than just myself and more to life than just running. With 11 out of the top 12 runners graduating from my sophomore year, myself being the exception, I had the opportunity to step into a leadership role earlier than usual. I became one of the captains for the cross-country and track teams, with aspirations of a rebuild to duplicate the success from my sophomore year. Junior year did not go as planned, to say the least. I never bested my previous times in any of the cross-country or track events I ran that year. The limitations of a young team were apparent. Lacking regionals and state competition experience, the team barely qualified for state, finished 19th in cross-country before COVID-19 derailed the track season. However, through it all, I began to find comfort and consolation with my team. Having battled through a year of many hardships and becoming closer friends with many of them, I realized the positive impact that the team made on my life, pushing me to be better while making me a happier person, despite my poor running performances. Once the challenges of the running culture had begun to loosen their grip over my life, I saw the friendships that I was forming and the positive impact I can have on others as a role model. While I was never able to top my 16:35 5K time during my senior year of cross country, I led the team to finish 7th in the state, one position higher than my sophomore year. However, I did not lead the team on the course anymore, but rather led them as a captain. My coach described me as the heart and soul of the team during my senior year. The community I had formed with the team was a tight-knit group, despite me not being able to set personal bests. Ultramarathoners share the same community as they embark on races that are 50-plus miles long in length. As highlighted by a group of researchers and the sport psychologists, in the ultramarathoner community, running ability, gender, experience, or success were not viewed as important. Rather, ultramarathon runners in the study valued and appreciated other runners for being willing to take part in the event itself. I did the same, encouraging all of the runners on the team, realizing that my example as a veteran varsity runner, coming to congratulate and encourage even the youngest members of the team, positively impacted them. I've found through my experiences that the running lifestyle should be focused on the relationships formed with others through running, because these relationships have a greater impact on someone else's life than any individual race can have for a runner. This was a lesson I had learned by my senior year track season, and after almost full 2 years of not setting a personal best in any event, I began to run faster than ever before because I was enjoying running in the track season with my community, not selfishly pursuing running goals like the running culture demands. The track season was fun and competitive with a solid team wanting to make it back to state, and we accomplished this goal by qualifying for the 4x800 meter relay for the state track championships with myself as the anchor leg, the last leg of the race. Our goal at state was a simple one. We wanted to finish on the podium, which was the top 8 teams. We came into the event as the 9th ranked relay team, with this slated to be my last race of my high school career. Unlike the previous track state championship that I went to in my sophomore year, the sky was crystal clear. The day was full of promise and excitement that transferred to my team. The first 3 legs of the 4x800 meter relay did their job by setting me up in 8th place when I got the baton, ready to bring it home. Not only did I keep us in the top 8 for a podium, but I also advanced our position to 7th by the end of the race. The conclusion and triumph of our team meeting our goal felt final, until it wasn't. The loudspeakers summoned our coaches to the scorer's table. The verdict? We had been disqualified by a rare and quite unprecedented call, with one of our runners stepping outside the transfer zone, even though he was forced out by contact. Heartbroken, I faced the conclusion more final than the previous one: defeat. As my relay team overlooked the ongoing awards ceremony and another team taking our spot on the podium, the teammate who had been cited for the infraction sat motionless with his head drooped down to his knees. It was then and there that I made a move no self-absorbed runner would do, but only an impactful captain could do. I patted him on the back and consoled him, told him I was proud of him for running his heart out this season, and gave him a hand to help him up as we slowly hobbled away, the sting of defeat still fresh in our minds.